Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we're diving into a report from Mobileye Global, and let me tell you, it's not just about self-driving cars, it's about votes, compensation and plans. Ready to see if they're driving in the right direction? Before we jump in, if you like getting straight insights from corporate documents, hit that subscribe button. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. Come and join us. Scrolling states, cronies and exchanges come a scroll. This document is a Form 8K, which is basically a current report that companies file with the Securities and Exchange Commission to announce major events. In this case, it's about Mobileye's annual meeting of stockholders. Companies hold these meetings yearly for the owner's stockholders to vote on important decisions. This part specifies that this report is in compliance with the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, which makes sure companies don't lie to investors. It also gives the date of the meeting June 17, 2025, with the earliest event reported being June 12, 2025. Right below the legal stuff, we can find useful business details such as Mobileye's official name, where it's incorporated, which is Delaware, and its file and tax numbers. These are just legal checkboxes that confirm the filing isn't related to other specific types of communications like merger offers or solicitations. Basically, it's a clean, straightforward report. This tells us Mobileye is not an emerging growth company. This means they don't get some of the breaks that newer, smaller companies get when it comes to following accounting rules. This section gets into the meat of the report, the results of the votes at the annual meeting. On June 12, 2025, Mobileye had its annual meeting and stockholders voted on 4 proposals. The report mentions that the details of these proposals can be found in the proxy statement filed back in April. Now let's talk about the voting power. There are a total of about 81 million shares of Class A common stock and about 712 million shares of Class B common stock represented at the meeting. This massive amount represented 99.7% of the total voting power. It's important because Class B shares have more voting power, 10 votes per share, compared to Class A shares, 1 vote per share. The first proposal was about electing directors. The good news, all directors were elected. The numbers show how many votes each nominee received for and votes to withhold. For example, Amnon Shashua got over 7.1 billion votes for and about 18.4 million votes to withhold. Withhold votes are essentially votes against the nominee, but they don't count as negative votes. It is just a way that shareholders can show that they didn't fully endorse them. There were also about 24.6 million broker non-votes, which happen when brokers don't vote on behalf of their clients. The second proposal was about agreeing on the accounting firm that checks Mobileye's books. It passed with flying colours, over 7.1 billion votes for 267,977 against and 570 abstentions. The third asked shareholders what they thought about the high end of Mobileye's executive compensation, otherwise known as how much money the bosses make. It passed, but not unanimously. Around 7.1 billion voted for, about 33.7 million were against, and about 94,000 abstained. It's worth noting that this vote is advisory, meaning it's just a suggestion, and the company doesn't have to follow it. Finally, there was a proposal to approve some updates to Mobileye's equity incentive plan. This plan is how Mobileye gives employees stock-based compensation, like stock options or restricted stock units. Approving this generally allows them to attract and keep employees. Again, it passed with about 7.1 billion votes in favour, about 36,000 abstaining. The legal formalities are signed off by Professor Amnon Shashua. So what does all this mean? It paints a picture of a company where most of the major decisions are supported by the shareholders. The elections for the board were successful. The company can continue compensating its officers. Their accounting practices are supported. They can continue offering equity incentives to their employees. However, we can also see some weaknesses, for example, the against tallies in executive compensation and the equity incentive plan show that almost 40 million and 37 million shareholders weren't very happy about some of the decisions the company made. On the whole, the report seems to be indicating that Mobileye has a pretty solid backing from shareholders, but also has some areas to be more careful about. Alright, that's our breakdown of Mobileye's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.